You know what? It brings back memories. Listen to that old intro. That one's a really really good one.
That's the
From
first time we met, I think, on one of your shows,
it might have
Man's
been.
Hour.
Yeah,
Wow.
it might have been. Yeah. Mansour was good, man, but I just don't have time for it anymore like I used to. One of
Yeah,
these
you're
days,
missing like everything now.
I know. One of these days, maybe I'll bring it back. But maybe that'll be like my retirement. That'll be my rest and relaxation. You know, I'll be I'll be sitting on a beach earning 20%, and just relaxing. But we're here for another episode of Post Zero, my last appearance before my cross continental trip. But we'll get to that in a moment. We got Dave with us from the Scar Thumb podcast, which absolutely everybody should be listening to. If you want your video game news not coming with the woke is the woke and the wokes are doing all the wokening on the wokes and the corporationies, go listen to Dave at the Scar Thumb podcast. He's an actual gamer and brings you the news that you actually need to hear and are actually interested in. So welcome, Dave. How are you, sir?
Fantastic. Thank you very much. That's
All right.
great.
Sweet. And then we got our friend Mish, the Chat of Arabia. How are you, my friend?
I'm good. Can't complain, dude. Life's been good lately. Busy with work. Uh,
Yeah.
been neglecting my Substack, but hopefully soon I will be able to write something.
Mm.
But yeah, keeping busy is always a good thing.
Yeah, and that's a good thing to remind everyone of. We talk about this kind of stuff all the time in the red pill space about, red pill is picking up chicks and smashing them hoes and everything like that. But, another part that is hugely neglected, but is also extremely important is just how to conduct yourself in the workplace. And Chat of Arabia's Substack is all about that. So there's some excellent advice in there for people if you're looking at how to navigate yourself. I mean, everyone's got female bosses these days. I had a female boss this last tax season, and a lot of the stuff that Chat of Arabia talks about is very, very helpful. So head on over there. And then we got Jack Napier. He has nothing to offer. So how are you, dude?
Dude, I'm living life. I ever since I got here, I was pretty strict on like the diet and the weightlifting and things like that. But today I am just binging on whatever I can find. Like they have this great coffee place here. By the way, for people who don't know, I'm in Batumi, Georgia right now. I've been here for 2 months. It's a beautiful, beautiful beach city. And I have just been visiting coffee stores and whatever, and get cheesecake and figuring out all the sweet desserts they have in Georgia. And I love it. And tomorrow I have a birthday dinner with one of the expats who invited me over. I'm taking the Belarusian chick there. And life has just been good, man. I am 6 weeks ahead on my Substack.
Really?
I've been writing so much that Colebug can soon join me as well, as a full-time editor. He can just come over here in Batumi as well and chill. Like, oh yeah, no, Jack pays me. So life is good. Life really is good.
Sweet, man. Well, I mean, gentlemen, we're here today to discuss rest and relaxation, an essential part of any man's life. Well, I mean, what was it? Is it Coach Greg Adams was always talking about? It was like peace, contentment, and quiet. It's something that every guy needs from the hustle and bustle of everyday life. Chattery was just talking about work. Jack, you're talking about on vacations. Well, it's something that you need, and everybody knows. I've talked about this for months, but I've got a hunting safari coming up in just a few short weeks. I am so excited for it. It's been many, many years since I've been back to the Dark Continent. So, and then getting some big game hunting out of the way is how I like to.
What a nice Hunter x Hunter reference, the Dark Continent. Yeah, that couldn't mean anything else but the popular anime Hunter x Hunter.
Yeah, of course. No, but it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun. I'll tell you that much. You guys will definitely get some cool photos of it while I'm out and over there. And then later this year, I'm gonna pool everything together into like a season of TV and sell it behind the paywall, so people can get an experience least a little bit of what it's like actually going on an African safari. So hopefully I can get that out by the end of this year. No idea how long it's going to take, but it's going to be a lot of editing. So be on the lookout for that one. But let's actually just throw the idea ball around here and just talk about why is it that people need R&R at all? It seems like a ridiculous question to ask, but it's one we still must answer, because I've been told by the Matt Walsh types and many people in Conservative Inc. that guys playing video games or guys relaxing or guys who aren't just pure Spartans all day 24/7 and taking anything they can do to relax is just ridiculous. And this is why women aren't getting married these days, is because men are spending too much time with their hobbies and relaxing. So what do we have to say about that, fellas?
I think I saw a tweet of that today again. What was it? Oh, wait, I remember. There was this 52-year-old woman, like, I'm 52 and I don't have my person. Why is this happening? And all the guys in the comments were like, well, men are weak today. It's like, first of all, F off. Like, shut up. Men aren't weak today, in all honesty. They really aren't. They're just looking at the playing field, see what's being offered, and tell themselves, like, you know what? I'm not going to fight for this. It's not worth it. I'm not fighting for this. I'm going to do my thing. And even when they're doing their thing, they're finding out they could still get laid if they actually tried. Good book on this is Your Brain on Birth Control. They did an experiment, and the conclusion was that the easier sex is obtained, the less people tend to do overall. It's a sort of like a kind of a mouse experiment, but they pulled it through to humans. But with you cannot work 24/7. You can't. That is physically not possible, because at a certain point you run out of work. That is one. You run out of it. Like even the Matt Walshes of the world, they can only stream for so many hours a day. They really can only stream for so many hours a day. You can only write for so many hours a day. You can only narrate for so many hours a day. Ask me how I know. I've tried. I have tried my hardest to narrate 8 hours a day. I can't. My voice just ends at a certain point. And not only my voice ends, but mentally you just start fumbling over words. You're not able to articulate complete sentences anymore. At a certain point, it's just done. You've put in so much focus in that particular project that you have ran out of capacity, capability even, of doing a certain project as productive as humanly possible. Because then you get to the argument of quality and quantity. It's nice that you have a lot of quantity, but what about the quality of all of it? So why is rest and relaxation so important? It helps you to recharge the battery, therefore later on being able to perform better at that thing you want to do.
To do that.
Oops. Sorry.
Professional podcasting.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but what Jack said is I agree with, because I'm going through that myself right now. I'm having some issues just disconnecting through R&R, and I keep noticing it takes me a little bit longer just to disconnect. Usually, whenever you're used to the working 5 days a week, then you get the weekend. But sometimes when you overwork yourself for a longer period of time, and especially if you're in a place, I don't want to say that you're needed or replaceable, but you have a lot of responsibilities. Sometimes it feels hard to just disconnect. It's a skill that you need to learn. Like the world is not going to end if you don't show up to work or not answer that email, and you're replaceable as easily as that. Doesn't matter who you are.
That's how they get you too in the corporate sphere. That was that whole thing about taking your work home with you. It's like, it's a hyper competitive space, and if you slack off in any way or take any breaks, you're just going to be immediately replaced the next moment. It's just more and more. I think about the stuff more. I just despise corporatism in basically all of its forms. I'm really, really starting to really dislike merchants. Basically of all stripes.
Yeah, it's definitely.
8 years ago. No, it was 9 years ago. In one of the jobs I used to work, it was a corporate job. A guy literally died in his sleep because of how much he was working, and they didn't discover that he died until like 3 days later. And the company did not even give a shit. He was replaced the next day. Like
Wow.
everything went normal, like he did not exist, and he was holding like an executive position. So it's a lesson for everyone who's always grinding. I mean, just learn to. I mean, I should do that myself, but you need to learn how to take a break. Enjoy the days off, take vacations whenever you can, because you only live once, dude. How much money do you need?
That's another really good question as well. It's like guys, like get it in this mind. This attaches as well to how do I get to girls? Is right is making a shitload of money and then they just magically appear in front of you. Which I mean they can in some cases. I don't know if you want those kinds of women though, but that's a different
Yeah.
topic. But it's like you just can't be working until you're dead, man. I think one of the other things that is the most important part of this discussion about we're talking about rest and relaxation is guys just don't want to give themselves permission to go and do what it is that they want to do. They're still trapped in the frame of other people about what you should be doing on your vacations, or no, I'm gonna go to the sports game, or I'm gonna follow a band around, or I'm gonna go to like the Florida, I'm gonna go to the Caribbean or something, but they never really think back in their head, what is it that I actually want to do on a vacation? I mean, I like to go hunting. I know not everybody likes to do that. It's not their thing, but I don't really care because it's my thing and it's my money. Nobody else is paying for it. So I'm going to do what the hell I want to do. It's as simple as that.
Even when they go on vacation, they always like want to try and maximize it. It's just like a sickness where it's like I gotta hit this, and this, and this. It's never like I'm just gonna like do nothing for like a day or two, or I always try and give myself like one day on like the bookends just to not do anything, just to recover from it. Because while vacation's like fun, going to different areas are fun, it is very taxing on me. It's like, especially if I'm not sleeping in my bed, my usual bed, I'm just like, oh, I'm done at the end of it. It's hard. And I think like sometimes when people work too much, they kind of like lose sight. Like it's easy to like lose your perspective on like what's actually important, because it's just the work becomes the entire focus. You're not like looking like what do you get, beyond that. Is it just about earning money, or like just things become super important that really aren't. I remember this issue. There was a story about a guy that like tried to stop some shoplifters, like Home Depot or something like this. He ends up getting shot and died. And then the sad thing is, you probably replace in a few weeks. HR comes down and tells everyone in the store that he was not like an idiot, but like you should never do this. Like you should never try and stop. Shoplifters. It's not worth it because you could get injured, or of course, they could get sued is probably what they're most worried about. But like, why would you give your life up for something that is like 0.001% of like their profits? Probably even less than that. You're gonna risk your life for doing that. It's insane. But for some people, that's it. That's all they got. They're just getting that mode that working is it.
It's the how do you phrase that? And I think Mish can confirm this, but it's that workforce brainwashing of like, you're part of the family now. You're part of the community. We will do anything for you. Why don't you do everything for us? And people who've Cappy wrote about this. You have people who work to live and people who live to work, kind of thing. So I always
in Arabic as well, like same exact saying.
Well, like I've always worked to live, where it's like I'll go to the job and fine, like give me money so I can do what I really want. Thank you. But there are people who genuinely live to work. Their job is everything for them. They get their solace and meaning out of that 8 hours a day sitting behind a desk while their boss can replace them within an instant. which is a very sad reality to live in, but they're not my problem, kind of thing. Unfortunately, people like this also take their personal life to work because life becomes personal life, weirdly enough. And I don't really know where I'm going with this, but it's just a phenomenon where it's like if you run into these people at work, just know what you're dealing with. Don't try to convince them of anything else. Don't try to convince them of anything else because they will hound you. Because the reason why is that you are going against their belief system. It's almost theology for them,
Yeah.
their conviction, sort of say.
Yeah, I've dealt with bosses like that where they're trying to suck you into like, oh, you should be available 24/7, or you should,
Oh, fuck off.
yeah, you should, like, or they'll just call you up and like waste your time. Hey, could you help me out with this? Like, they just busy work, needless busy work, because they think like, hey, everyone else thinks like me. They want to work 60 hours. They want to have their phone on 24/7.
Dude, I'm having some issues now with my team. I keep telling them not to work during their off time, and they keep working and they keep calling me. I'm like, dude, go spend time with your family. Work is not gonna stop. And like, just to go on Jack's point, everything at work is insured. So that guy who basically died for nothing, so whatever was stolen is already insured. The bank loan that you take is insured. The credit card that you take is insured. Everything, like even you as an employee, you are insured. Some companies, insure their employees in case they die, they get compensated if this person dies on the job.
Yeah,
You're basically, dude, you're just basically a slave at this point.
yeah, but I've been in retail and I get the mindset, because you almost like when they steal from the job, they're stealing from you. It's like you almost kind of take that stuff personally. And I've been in that situation too, where like I see people stealing stuff from me, and it's going to be like a lot of work because you have to like re-inventory the stuff. I mean, obviously you're working. The entire reason you're working there is to like make your company profitable. So like I can get why he did it, but at the same time, you just need to have that perspective in the back of your head that like, it's not worth it. Like it's not worth it to risk my my person by doing it. Like I've chased a guy out of the store before, like trying to get the stuff back too during younger years. It's easy to get caught up, but you got to have a little more perspective.
You want to do your job right? So when like you want to take responsibility. Like we're all very smart and capable guys here who take what they do seriously. The only problem is that the people we're doing it for don't take us seriously. I think that's a big thing as well, where you have to realize, and Mish taught me this, no matter how good you are at your job, your manager will always see you as replaceable. Especially in low level entry jobs, you are nothing but a number. So you could like sacrifice your life all you want. As soon as you step out of line once, they'll forget everything. They'll forget everything you did because they'll just replace you, who might not be as active as you are in the workforce, but they're active enough. They'll be active enough. They'll have a warm body. You see a lot of that here in Georgia, where the store clerks, they're on their phone watching Netflix, and they are openly disgruntled when you ask them something. Like, how dare you bother me while I'm watching my series?
Yeah.
But they need a warm body there. They just need a warm body there. Yeah. Here's
They're
some
there to
guy
meet a
hard.
quota. Yeah, they're there just to meet. Some of these jobs, they're there to meet a quota, whether it's a female percentage or like a national quota percentage, and they know the company needs them. So that's why they do this shit. Like we have that even here. Like some of them, they know that they're just to please the government or like a regulation or a law, and the company that's hiring them, that they cannot basically do anything. So they just give them a title and throw money their way, and they let the expats basically do 90% of the job. Like today, I've had an interview with someone who's supposed to be a senior level, but when I interviewed her, like she basically knew jack shit, and she was working for one of the biggest companies here. It was like a total waste of 45 minutes of my life, and I know for a fact that they're gonna ask me to hire her because she meets certain requirements. She's a female and she's from a certain area. I'm like, no, fuck that shit. I'm not gonna hire her.
Even Saudi has that stuff. They got DEI over there.
Yep. But we don't hire the HDTV, QUDH people.
HDTV, HDMI,
One of my
1020.
one of my favorite memes of all time is like one of these college protest groups or something, and they have like the LGBTQAIP, but they added like another 15 characters on it or something because they made a bunch of new people for some reason. And the next panel on the meme was just a cat walking on a keyboard.
God. I find it so odd because like you guys voted against this, right? But they're still trying. They're still trying. What was the last thing I saw? I even retweeted it.
Well, obviously, I mean, it's not like these people were going to go anywhere just because like some people voted against it. It's still a significant portion of the population who believes in this stuff and they get paid for it, and they're not going to go down without a fight. So
that's the weird thing. It's a significant portion that believes in it, but there's only a small percentage that participates in it. That's the weird thing.
I don't know about. I question how small it is. I mean, if it's in every company in the entire country, I mean, how small is it? Right.
I mean, you got to remember, it's the message, right? It's demoralization. People need to believe in it. It's the same as the. This might be an odd comparison, but hear me out on this one. It was like the Koof thing, like, oh, you're gonna die and blah 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 blah, and then you looked at the actual deaths, and it was like, oh, wait a minute, like, wait, we're not dealing with the Black Plague here. And then you looked at the people who were actually dying and blah, blah, blah. Yet the narrative kept being pushed to get the normies and conformies back in line. And what you see with the ABCD alphabet people is that there's not a whole lot of people who actually partake in that surgery kind of thing. But you do see them pushing the message more and more and more and more, especially affecting the younger generation who are now the older ones you're seeing regretting the undertaking of that surgery. And then you can get into a whole nother thing like, why do they do it? But I still think it's so weird that this agenda keeps being pushed, thinking they can achieve something because the backlash online. Even the one thing I retweeted where it's like the Yanks voted against this, the comments are overtly against it. And I mean, this is a lot of comments. A lot. And then you see the comments in Ye's new video, and they are overtly positive. Where it's like, oh.
I still haven't even watched it. The only thing I saw from it was that edit that Ryan put in the chat of it, and everyone was laughing at it.
Catchy. It's catchy. That's the problem. It's catchy as hell, but I do understand why you wouldn't want to watch it, because it's kind of like,
hey, I can H. Hey man, I can HH without Kanye's help. All right.
Yeah. Hey, speaking of diversity hires, look who's here. Good to
Jack,
see you.
Hey, it's our Mexican.
It's the first time in forever since he's been on Post Zero again. And we can't hear him.
That a capybara?
It
changes colors?
Oh, neat. That's cool, dude.
Ooh.
You're muted.
Where did you get it from?
You're
He
muted,
stole it.
Mike.
We can't hear you, dude. We can't hear you.
He does. It has. Yep.
Hold on. 2 seconds.
Just look at this, the $2 podcaster. Jesus Christ, man. Get your shit together.
His background's cool though. I will give him credit for that.
It is.
Mm-hmm.
All right, you guys hear me now? Test.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, we can hear you now.
All right,
yes, I got a capybara light. Pretty cool.
Nice.
Changes colors.
But it's not a Shiba.
Yeah, well, I have enough Shiba stuff. I have a little Shiba. I think this is like you put essential oils on it or something, and it smells good. I don't know. I don't know, dude. I have
Basically,
extra money laying around, so
gay
I buy
stuff.
stupid shit sometimes.
Yeah, hey, yeah, it's a cool little thing.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
Jack, going back to your point. So the thing is, all of this stuff that you've seen, COVID, DEI, whatever, it's because some guy up top decided to do something, and everyone wants to please him.
Yeah.
It's basically that, dude. So
It's a no, yeah, but it's more like feminine conformity. Like you have to have something that's kind of egregious or like just naturally repulsive. If you can get people to agree to that, then you can just get them in line with anything. You can just use it as like a leverage to knock people out that think differently or like think independently. And you just use that as a little leverage to enforce what you want. You're like maybe you make an inappropriate joke or an inappropriate pass at somebody, or like, even maybe it's not even really inappropriate, but it's just could be construed as that. Then immediately you can just sort of get them out or punish them.
Yeah, because you
Just
were
a way
not.
to keep people in line.
I remember telling Belarus chick that about like, oh yeah, if a man makes a remark to a woman, even if it's positive, and she feels uncomfortable, she can go to HR and he's fired. She's like, how do you people flirt? That was her first response. Like, how do you
it's
people
different
flirt?
over there from the Eastern European
They
women.
don't.
They
I'm
don't
like
have
big
that kind of crazy stuff that the women in the West have, or even here nowadays. Like even here in where I am in the part of the world is, if you're not good looking, you're gonna get reported to HR. It relies heavily if you're charming and good looking. Honestly,
Oh, so
I've
you're pretty
seen.
much fucked.
Hmm?
So you're pretty much fucked.
Yeah, like I don't know how I survived until this day, dude. I'm surviving a lot, but yeah, I've had to deal with some, like I've had to fire some guys because they got reported for harassment
Jeez.
and sexual harassment.
But I mean, maybe like, did they have proof or whatever, or is it like in the West where it's like, oh well, you got reported, so we don't need to check. It's all about
No,
the optics.
so all right, so if we want to be honest about it, like whatever the guy did was inappropriate, whether it's a male or female. Okay, the thing he said, whatever, even if he touched the female in a way, he should
He's just
be touching it.
uncalibrated.
Yeah, I mean, regardless, okay, but it could slip if he was good looking. Like she wouldn't be reporting him if, like I've gone, I've gotten away with a lot of shit with women at work and several places because I'm not that bad looking and I'm charming and I know what to say.
Okay.
Yeah,
But other
fair.
guys, dude, we had to fire an IT manager. He was getting paid like $10,000 a month, so the guy's fucked, and he's been there for like 8 years. And I had to fire the guy because one of the ladies filed a complaint against him, and when we went through the cameras and investigated with him, the guy just fucked up. Like,
Okay.
told him, dude, you should just draw a line. You're not that good looking. You're
you
a
get like
petite.
grab a titty, nice titty.
No, he just like he approached her like he was uncomfortably close to her, and he said a joke. He's a petite, you know.
Ah,
So yeah, you can
well,
understand why.
Yeah. Okay, we get it. Yeah,
Right.
we get it.
Well,
Yeah, I mean,
that
like
solves that solves that riddle.
yeah, I mean, like don't follow what I say or like do it at work. But like I've shown some of the tricks at work, like the videos I've had and the crazy stuff of me partying and doing crazy shit. And if it was another guy, they would just reported him. But instead, they're like, "Oh, we want to travel with you. You look, you sound fun."
Yeah, it's almost like it's like a 180 complete because there's guys that they actively run from, and then there's guys that are just like they want to be alone with just because they have that fantasy, of the
Yeah,
Jim and
well,
Pam. And this might be my Jim to my Pam. Like I saw that on dating apps 2 years ago. Almost every other dating profile had looking for the Jim to my Pam. I'm just like, Jesus, man, these girls have like their fantasies, work fantasies.
oh yeah,
mm,
they totally do. It's like they get new software downloaded, and they all like update their dating apps to be the same thing. I don't know if Nuki saw this, but it was like a year or two ago where every girl on Hinge had like, I don't believe that Helen Keller was real. It's like, shut the fuck up. You didn't think about that. You
Yeah,
saw
it's
that on
just
like TikTok or something. Well,
Or the picture in front of the neon letters of like what, or the angel wings. Every city has angel wings, and they take pictures in
Yeah.
front of that. It's all
The
the same,
neon
dude.
letters. It's the Buzz Lightyear meme. Like, try finding
Yeah.
a girl like me, and then they'll say like you.
Yeah. I think it's important to know that your boss is just as afraid of losing his job as you are. So it's like you have to take that into account. And sometimes your boss is even more afraid of losing his job than you are, and that can create a lot of like dissonance between you because you could be easygoing, you could take a task and be like, "Yeah, I got it, no big deal," but he's shaking in his boots, right? Because he's terrified of losing his job. Meanwhile, you're just like, yeah, if I get it done, I get it done. If I can't, I'll ask for help. And if everything goes to shit, I'll get a new job. I can live under a bridge for a month, no big deal. But to him, it's like if I lose my job, everything like I lose my. So it's
my end.
to me that was going through like the Navy. That was the hardest part for me. I was so easygoing and so not easygoing, but like everything's gonna be okay. Like we're men. We could figure this out. We'll everything's gonna be okay. And I had bosses that were just like, "What if this happens? What if that? What's your plan for this?" I'm like, "We'll cross that bridge when we get there. Like we cannot worry about stuff that hasn't happened because it's a waste of our time."
Yes.
Mhm.
So
Yeah, very good point. I mean, it's a good point on the boss thing as well. That the boss's job isn't really as secure as you think it is, and that should just tell
Mhm.
you that he is just going to be looking for the path of least resistance. He's not necessarily
Yeah.
going to go to bat for you unless like he actually likes you.
Try
And
having
I-
female managers. They are
I
so
was in a
conflict
space.
avoidant.
I was in a space
I
with
would disagree with that. So the trick is to have your boss to basically be there for you and back you up, even if you're in the wrong.
Mhm.
And I keep saying
yeah,
this.
that's nice.
Yeah,
Mhm.
That's nice.
yeah,
Never gonna happen.
yeah.
Oh no,
Always think
it does.
Yeah, so always think about how can you make this person's life easier and how you can be hard to replace. It takes some time and it takes some going the extra mile just to be irreplaceable. I mean, you're not going to be irreplaceable, but be very hard to replace. Like Jack, you've seen the screenshot that I've sent you of my email that I sent to that female employee. I
Mhm.
sent an email to a female employee and
Savage.
it was very strong worded. I basically put her in her place. That's a big no-no to talk that way to a female employee here in Saudi. But her manager backed me up. He sent an email 3 minutes later telling her that's not a way to talk to a senior member. Then my manager sent a long ass email, basically, wailing on her, punching her in the emails, and she, submit her resignation next morning. Was I in the wrong? Yes. One of my team members, they fucked up, but we managed to cover it up because she had no proof. And my manager told me, like, look, I know you guys fucked up, but I'm always gonna have your back.
Mhm.
That's nice to have. Like, I had a couple of female managers. They were so conflict avoidant, where it's like, oh, path of least resistance. I'll just get rid of him, and then everything will be over. It's like, yeah. Unfortunately, a majority of female managers is like that. Like Hog mentioned, path of least resistance. I've had one male manager once, former Navy guy. He went to bat. He didn't care. He looked at who was most productive, his most valuable assets, and he would move heaven and earth to keep him.
Yeah.
So yeah, it is very much possible.
It is very rare, but it happens. Like you have to find, a good person that you work with. You have to prove yourself to be replaceable, and it exists, but you're gonna be very lucky when you find it.
Oh.
Gentlemen, let's talk about taking too much rest and relaxation, right? I mean, everyone needs it a little bit, but there's kind of like this meme that everyone tackles with that, we can't all be like you, like some people that just chill and like either are a streamer and just like play games all the time or something like that or whatever it is, right? But I gotta tell you, as I get older and older, it's harder and harder for me to actually relax over longer periods of time without like getting antsy again. It's like, dude, I gotta get back to work. I was like a lazy degenerate for like a week once tax season ended. Just drank a shitload of beer, played a lot of God of War Ragnarok, and just like was hanging out. And then after a week of that, I was like, okay, I'm kind of sick of this now. I need to get back to work. So,
Dude, I do that with. So I mentioned as soon as I landed, like I kept doing the gym, I kept doing the diet and whatever. 3 weeks straight, But after that, today, I'm like, fuck this shit. So I binge on everything I want, and then I'm healed. Then I'm cured. Where it's like, okay, we've done this. We've done this. Now we can move on. The Substack, weirdest thing, like I mentioned, I'm 6 weeks ahead. 6 weeks ahead. And then I can't write, or then I stop writing for a couple of days where it's like, okay, I don't want to write. I've done it. And then you get antsy, or you get a brain fart, or whatever, or you have an idea, and back to the system you go. Like, back to work you go. Because, how do I phrase this? At a certain point, it becomes who you are, kind of thing. Like, working out for me is like brushing my teeth. Like, I can take a week off, but I get antsy as hell at the last couple of days where it's like, oh, maybe I'll start sooner. It's like, no, just
Yeah,
full week.
that's how I
full
feel,
week.
dude.
Yeah, like full week, take the full week off. It's like, yeah, but it's like, nope. So at the end, you have to force yourself. Like with the diet, if I jump off the bandwagon of my diet, I know I'll be back on it within a day because I'll be so sick the next morning where it's like I'll never do this again.
Yeah, very good point. Nuke, you've been resting and relaxing a little bit after your injury. Do you feel a little antsy, like you want to get back to doing some stuff, or are you enjoying your time off? What do you think, man?
It's definitely the internal battle that every man has when like he doesn't know when enough rest is enough or when too little is too little. After I fell off that ladder, I went back to work on Tuesday. So I fell on Friday, and I called in sick on Monday because I just wasn't sure how I felt. And then Tuesday I was back to work, full capacity. And I worked, I did a huge job for State Farm Insurance, like literally one of the biggest projects this year, because I didn't want to leave my coworker working by himself. Stupid man sacrifice for others things. I really liked my coworker. He's a former Navy nuke like me. Cool as ever. He's one of my favorite people to work with. So I didn't want to abandon him, but I regret going back to work. Like I was like, what the fuck was I thinking? Maybe I should have just stayed home and relaxed and kind of like figured out what type of pain I was in, and that probably fucked up my recovery. But then there are times where it's like I've been at home for a week. What the fuck am I doing? Like I need to do something, and it's never gonna you're never gonna know the exact number of days or hours you need rest from. You're always gonna have like too little rest or too much, but the trick is to like kind of do the best you can because there are times where I'm on vacation. Like I went to after I got out the Navy, 6 years of grueling deployments, training, fact findings, incident reports, whatever, and I took 2 months off. And because everyone told me you need 2 months off to like reset your circadian rhythm, to like de-stress from the Navy, and they were right. I needed 2 months. It wasn't until the second month that I started not worrying about work, and I was literally out in the Navy. I had my DD 214 contract was over, and 2 weeks after the Navy, I was still worried about things that I had to do for them. I'm like, dude, you're done. Let it go. You're done. So yeah, you never really know, but like go off other people's recommendation that kind of are in your field. Like I'm sure Red Hawk, you've talked to Chad Elkins or Cappy. Like how much time after the tax season do you guys take off or
Oh
something?
yeah.
Yeah.
I've hung out with Elkins many a times, and he kind of ran me through his routine of what he does. And he more or less takes like 10 weeks off and then starts doing stuff again.
Yeah,
And
and
that's more or less what I'm doing this time.
yeah, and the red pill isn't only about women; it's about everything. Like we could sit down and trade notes about everything. Guys are so obsessed with girls because they're not getting girls, so that's all they talk about. But really, this is your health, guys. Like
Yeah.
take it from me. I've had to uphill battle to fight to get my finger healed and surgery and all that stuff. And to this day, I'm just it's not worth your health, right? There's other jobs. It's just not worth your health. Obviously, don't be a lazy sack of shit and think that you need to be laying down all the time, but at the same time, no one really cares about your health as much as you do. So it's your responsibility. You have to make a value judgment. And people forget, even when you go to the gym, how important rest is. Like we as men are just like, no, we got to go. Especially in America, the culture is very fast paced. But you got to rest, man, or else you'll burn out. Like I promise you, you will burn out. And I've seen men burn out at work or in their personal lives. It's not pretty. it's not pretty. You don't want to be people lose jobs over burnout because they crash out or they yell at their boss and all they needed was time off, you know? So, yeah.
Would it be a case of out of sight, out of mind, like a fear if you're taking too much time off, people are gonna forget about you and you're gonna be replaceable?
Yeah,
And
probably maybe.
would that take you to the point is if they found out I can be replaceable, I could lose my job. So I need to be on point, always on my game, always there just so they can remember me, don't forget about me. What do you think about that?
Mm, yeah,
I
definitely.
mean, man, we're
Maybe.
team players. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, though, maybe it's taking some time off just shows people how irreplaceable you are. Maybe you just need to step away a bit and let them know what it's like without you. Maybe they forget.
Make them miss you a little.
What if they?
Well,
What if,
it all depends on how, like we mentioned, how irreplaceable are you? I mean, I still almost daily get texts from the guys at the gym, where it's like, fuck, damn it, like we can't find the guy because it's more than just capability alone. It's the social aspect as well. How well do you mingle with the entire team? You know how rare it is to find somebody who's and capable and socially savvy? Like the guys who make the biggest impression weren't always the best workers. Like they were just the how do you phrase that? The people you were able to connect most with. And is it a fear of people? I think with some people it is, in all honesty, especially the people who don't have a lot to offer, if that makes sense. Where it's like, oh, what if they'll forget me and blah, blah, blah. It's like, well, then apparently they weren't right for you. If they can replace you that quickly, you weren't that special, and neither should they be for you, kind of thing. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you're replaceable, but you're not that replaceable. I think guys are like, it's either or. I'm like, it's good. It's not always easy to replace you. Like there
No.
isn't someone exactly like you at the door waiting. It's gonna be like a 2 month process. They may hire someone that's not as good, or they may hire someone that's too good and leaves the company, whoever, whatever it is. But at the same time, dude, like you're replaceable, but not to the point where you should hate your employer. If you love your job, don't get in these. I don't think it's a good idea. If you love your job, your boss has your back. If you enjoy what you do, to have these negative, like, fuck this place, they would replace me in a deal. I'm like, yeah, they have to, bro, because it's a company, it's a corporation. They can't just make a memorial you at your desk and then close off your office and be like, no one goes in there. That's the sacred temple of Nuke. He once worked there. No, like
Keep
you
it up
have
as a
to
shrine.
realize, yeah, just like when a girl leaves your life, you find another girl. When your pet dies, you get another pet, or whatever. There's people that are irreplaceable, and there's things that you wish you didn't have to replace, but you have to. And um,
We
the important thing
tried
is,
finding another Mexican. We couldn't.
exactly,
yeah, it was
but
very hard.
I was stressed out for a second there, Nuke. You're talking about pets. I'm like, is Tadashi sick? Don't
oh, no, he's
stress me
okay.
out.
But like it's like people take time off after they lose a pet, but usually within a year or 2 years they get another one, right? And that's the same thing. Like they're going to mourn you for like a week. Your coworkers are gonna be like, man, Nuke or Red Hawk was a pretty cool guy. Like normal, right? But at the same time, they have to get another person, right? And but at the same time, don't also think that after like 3 weeks they're gonna be like begging you to come back. They're just
It doesn't happen. Sometimes it happens, but doesn't usually happen. It's like the revenge fantasy kind of thing, dude. Like
Mhm.
you think about it, but 99% of the time it's not gonna happen unless you have like this insane niche skill in your industry that not many people has, and yeah, it doesn't happen that much. So you're better off just moving along and finding another place.
Here. One of the things I want to touch on, I remember I asked my dad this question when I was a little kid, right? And it kind of just stuck with me. Like kids always ask their parents ridiculous stuff, right? And I asked Dad, like, why there is evil in the world. And he's like, well, it helps us appreciate the good, was his answer. And that didn't really make much sense to me until I got older. And it's kind of like the same thing here. Is like, Well, if you're just relaxing all the time, like if you're some welfare bum who's just sitting on like his couch playing video games, eating Cheetos, I mean, to some people it seems, oh man, like that's the life. I get to just like relax and do basically nothing all the time, right? Well, you actually don't get to appreciate it as much as when you're actually spending your time working or doing other stuff. I mean, like me, I'm about to go on this hunt. I've been hunting on this scale in almost like a decade now. So I'm going to appreciate it way, way more if I was doing it all the time. I mean, Cappy, he talks about Sterling Cooper all the time. Guy's literally a porn star, fucking beautiful chicks, and he got sick of that, you know?
Mhm.
Yeah, everything becomes work. It became work. You know.
You cannot have the good without the bad. There is no light without dark. Everything is balance. Everything.
Yeah.
Everything is
I
balance.
dated a girl who she was a violin teacher and player, like she had her own symphony and all that stuff. And I would in the car I would put on classical music because I thought, oh, this is what she likes, right? And she's like, turn that off. Can you please put on some pop, some like modern pop music, brain dead pop music? Because I don't want to hear. I have to listen to classical music all day, all the time for hours. And I'm like, yeah, work becomes what you think is entertainment becomes work for other people, and you just don't realize it.
Hmm. Yeah, and even like relaxation, like if you've got too much free time, it just ends up I don't want to say torture, but just becomes a trap that you just instead of like actually doing something you want to enjoy, you end up being like on Twitter or just like lazing around, like not really particularly doing anything important. Well, not necessarily important, but you just don't end up like doing anything purposeful. Like whether it's like even like sometimes like playing games that you want to play, it just it's almost like a depression at that point. Like you need that kind of like balance between like going out doing work, having some sort of structure in your day to really appreciate that free time you actually have. I don't know if it's just like a guilt thing from like not working, or it's just like you have to do something, you have to go up and do something or not. It just ends up becoming this like giant malaise. Your day just becomes like a nothing that just sort of is gone in an instant as you like watch YouTube videos.
Yeah, I mean, not to get on like the conservative soapbox here, but at the end of the day, like men's job is to create. It is to go out and produce something. Well, I mean, even if we didn't have a welfare state or anything like that, people would still be calling you like a lazy piece of shit. If you weren't doing
Yeah,
stuff.
I mean,
It's just how it goes.
we'd always. How do you phrase that? Men could have all the money in the world. We could. And still we'd go out there and do something. We'd do something to provide anything, be it entertainment, be it provisioning for people, be it, I don't know, like help the homeless, whatever. We would find something, art, music, sculpting.
Golf.
It's just in our golf. I know. It's just in our Look at Cappy. Cappy could retire. He could. Most definitely. He could. Tomorrow, he could pack up his online stuff and leave. He won't. He'll be bored to death. This is why I think some of us on this panel will never retire. We'll find something to do. Ryan, good example as well. Ryan might leave the manosphere, but he's not leaving the internet. Hell no. That man has got something to do. He's openly admitted that. He's like, my brain just operates that way, that I need to do something. And it's with members on this panel as well. We need to do something. Now, let's say guys like Asmund Gold, they kind of broke the code where it's like they found a way to monetize being a lazy piece of shit. But I mean, even a guy like him provides.
It's like
provides.
It's also like
one in a million
shot that you end up like somebody like that.
Yeah, but he provides entertainment for people. Which, I mean, would I say that is something worth striving for? It's like, nah. Like you said, one in a million. SoundCloud rapper might even be more successful to achieve. But, I couldn't imagine what I would be doing if I were retired. I think I still write. There are so much things I still want to write about. And Like that's how my mind works. I walk around, I see a situation, or I go out, and all of a sudden I'm like, that is actually a pretty cool concept. And I just start writing it down. And then the next morning I look at the notes and then I write 15 to 2,000 words about it and boom, publish it kind of thing. It's just, it needs to happen. It needs to work kind of thing.
Yeah,
We need to continue.
You've been writing quite a bit recently.
Yeah, but I mean, let's be honest here. I've been writing since I was, I don't know, when was this? 16, 15, 16? Like writing on my own, whatever. I used to have a blog when I was in high school, which I got mocked for my English back then, where it's like, oh, it's shitty grammar and this and that, which it was. I'll admit, which it was. And now, look at me now. Look at me now, I'm almost a bestseller on Substack. 8 people away, damn it. And no nuke, they're not going to unsubscribe. But no, I'm 8 people away from becoming a bestseller on Substack. It's like, what the hell, man? That life is great. The universe is great. We really do live in the best of times. We have the internet. We were granted the possibility to achieve things we deemed impossible back in our day, where it's like traditional publishing houses and blah, blah, blah. Like I wanted to be a writer when I was younger and a pirate, but can't have it all, I guess. And a teacher. So the teacher thing I got, and now I can almost, in a way, I got the teaching thing.
From a certain point of view.
From a certain point of view. I mean, I have more people, what's the word I'm looking for? Voluntarily tuning into one of my live streams than most teachers get in their classrooms. Voluntarily.
It's a very good point.
Yeah, no, but it's true. Look at Cappy. He's filling college auditoriums with his live streams. It's like teachers can only dream of so many people wanting to tune into their lectures. Maybe Peterson's the only one who's achieved it, to that level.
Yeah, it feels like printing money sometimes when I write. I'm like, but the thing is too, like the experiences that I gained, it was time, pain, just, and guys need to realize that there's people that like twitch their face a certain way and they've become millionaires.
Yeah.
So don't feel bad if you're writing or sharing your experiences or talking about what you find, what you're passionate about, because there's people that are literally paid to be useless and are rich. And imagine, speaking on like value and all that stuff, we as men, we like, I get it. You did said a funny phrase or something, and now you're people like you, or you're popular. But what are you gonna do with that? Like, what's your goal? What's your purpose? Just doing that face for the rest of your life, or are you going to, give somebody value?
Say the line, Bart. Say the line.
What's the line?
Yeah, no, but you know what I mean? Like the Hawk Tour girl. Like, are you going to say Hawk Tour for the rest of your life? It's like that Simpsons scene. Say the line, Bart.
But I mean, girls are different. Girls, like they don't need they don't have the same kind of like purpose-driven thing for them.
Do you think girls think this way literally at all?
No,
I don't think so.
I don't think
what's my legacy,
honestly. Yeah.
What's the women care about their legacy? Whether they have like a statue built with their name?
No,
I don't know.
I mean, as a woman, you only need to be black these days, and you get a statue built after you. So I mean,
that's like every fat black woman. It's not.
Yeah, I know. You just have to.
It's not a specific one.
No, but no, I don't think women think about that. Women are, remember, like men become, women are. Women don't need to worry about legacy. Like, what the fuck? Why do I want to be remembered when I can have it good now?
Let's extrapolate this not even to like the legacy discussion, because on that I would agree. About like, do you think there's ever really a need in their brains that they have to go and produce and they have to go and work, or do you think it's just sitting on yachts literally all day? Just
no, okay. So then you get to the mother instinct. I think that's the only one they have, where it's like, I need to nurture, and if you don't give her a baby, she'll nurture you. For the love of God, who's been here? Where I mean, a woman who's completely infatuated with you, and as soon as you like hit your foot or whatever, and you start like you're a man, you hit your foot, you're in pain, and you want to curse, and you're like, God fucking damn it. And she's like, are you okay? You need any? It's like, Stop pampering me.
Hey
Like,
man,
no,
hey man, some guys like that stuff.
I
Mhm.
fucking hate it. Like, no, just let me
I-
be angry.
I do think they need busy work though. Like I think they need something to do to keep their brain occupied. Like
Well,
if you
that's
give
why.
them like
What's that called? That's why. Hey, it's Gov.
Oh, it's the birthday
Fine.
guy.
Happy birthday.
happy
There he
birthday.
is. All
Happy
Thanks.
birthday.
Took you long enough.
Thank you.
It's been a while,
Yeah.
bro. How are you?
Oh, I know. Yeah, I'm pretty good. I have had a lot of busy Sunday mornings these past several weeks, so haven't been on as much as I wanted to. Some of those days I'd be like, I might have time, but today I said, you know what? I've got time. I'm jumping on now. So,
My-
but should have some more open Sundays coming up, and I'll be on a lot more often. But
Oh, Dave,
yeah.
real quick. That's why assistant was invented. Secretary.
Yeah. No, I just remember in manufacturing there was like they have to like shave these little like extra plastic to like make it to make the parts pass inspection. So they it's just like the molding isn't always perfect. So you have to shave these little parts off. And like there was like 4 of them in a circle, with a table and like just shaving those little parts as they talk to each other. Like to me that's like I guess the ideal like female work experience. You can just gossip all day while you're just doing this little inane task, and they couldn't be happier.
Just got to keep that hamster ball spinning.
Yeah, that's sewing circle,
Yeah.
Yeah. So, Gov, how do you like to take your rest and relaxation? Going to some cons, hanging out with the GF? How do you take it?
all of the above. Let's see. I mean, y'all know I like to take my rest and relaxation, out on some rhythm games, stuff like that. Video gaming in general is always a nice one. Reading books is always nice, preferably nonfiction for me, just because that's how I am and I like to learn things. I don't know. Everything else is or enjoying time outside. It's been great weather today or the past few days. Just go out, walking around, enjoying the nice, just everything. I don't know. I just didn't like enjoying life in any way possible that I can when going wherever and doing whatever I can. People I like or just by myself, either way. Spending time with the GF is always nice. We did some of that. In fact, like just as early as yesterday, went to a theme park and had a good time. And
Sweet.
yeah, just enjoying life. Really, I think my entire life feels like some R&R. Even whenever I'm doing the harder stuff. I mean, even when I'm going and working out, it's still, it feels like it's just life feels good. I don't know how else to put it.
Sweet.
I mean, life is pretty good.
30s, bro. It's being in your
Yeah.
30s, bro. Every day is just better. I can't explain
Dude,
it. It's just so awesome.
That's what I keep saying. Like, my dad will sometimes joke with me, "Oh yeah, you're getting into your later 30s now." And I'm, he's like, "You're getting up there." I'm like, "Dude, I feel better now than I did any time in my 20s ever."
You just gotta kind of like be careful how you move your body because maybe if you overstretch your knee a little bit, but other than that, it's just like I don't know. Your 30s are awesome. I don't know anyone that tells you guys that your 30s are like you're gonna get old or fat or ugly or unattractive, bro. It's because they're projecting. I have never been approached by women more at 36 than ever in my life,
Right.
even college. It's like getting ridiculous now.
It really is.
Yeah.
It really is stupid. Like it's like that crest when you're going up on the first like when the roller coaster's first going up that first big hill, and then it's just oh wow, things are just remarkably easier now. Like
And it's
everything.
gonna be even better. It's gonna be even better. I mean, I know people my age, like Newt mentioned, it's like, oh, I feel old and this and that. It's like because you didn't work out in your 20s, you didn't pick up healthy habits in your 20s. You need to, and I can't believe I'm saying this, but I do
Get
mean
some
it.
sun, for the love of God. Go outside.
Yes.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
Yes. But I mean, in your 20s, you're going to have to build those habits. You're going to have to learn to invest. That's the only thing why I'm bummed out about that I didn't learn more about investing like in my early 20s. But I mean, you can't have it all, I guess.
Yeah.
But like, put your money away, go to the fucking gym, eat your fucking vegetables, shit like that. And oh my god, you will eat the fruits of your labor in your 30s. You will, because you've created those habits that you can't get rid of. And it's not that your 30s are so attractive, it's that everybody else in their 30s is so unattractive.
Mm-hmm.
They
Yep.
Like,
are.
girls don't have a choice. There is no pool of men. There is not enough attractive men. There is just not
No.
enough.
Yep.
There's just
Nope.
not
Nope.
enough.
Nope. And
I think
less
we've
and
said
less
this
every day.
before. Yeah, we said this before.
What's that?
long
What's that
ago. It's
song
bad
again?
news.
They just can't get enough. They just can't get enough.
I
Just
think
can't
guys in their 20s, they just see caricatures of men on the internet that are like, yeah, I have this, I have that, and um they're the ones getting women. So they think I don't want to be a character, and I'm like, dude, all you got to do is, I mean, I don't want to be the reductionist, right? But you have to be smart, and you got to be strategic. That's the part guys don't understand. This isn't a game of like if then. This is like moving intelligently, strategizing, and like for right now we're talking about like how much rest is too much rest, how much is too little. I promise you, any problem that you have right now, there's a guy somewhere that's dealt with it and has a solution. You just got to get off the forums that complain about life and go to the ones that have solutions, and you'll be way ahead of people.
Yeah.
There are 36-year-old guys with six packs. Find them. Ask them, how do I get to your age, not hurt myself in the gym, and what do you eat? And he's gonna be like, bro, he's not gonna be like protein because we all like to talk about our success stories or whatever. So he's gonna be like, yeah, this is what I do, blah blah blah. Yeah, it's just there's a guy somewhere that's willing to give you free advice, and if it's not free, it's like $5. Or in Cappy's case, what is this
20.
course? $1 million.
35.
Yeah.
No,
It was
okay.
20.
Cappy's asshole consulting is 35. And
35. What?
yeah, for
Bucks.
video dollars. Blowjobs. 35 blowjobs.
To say, man, inflation hit him too. I thought it was $20. It's $20, you know.
It's $20.
No, asshole consulting and Nuke's frame just paused that perfectly.
Yeah, that was funny. That was pretty
Oh
funny.
yeah, it's a shame he defroze.
But
Somebody clip that. Gov, clip that. That
I like
face.
Oh,
I
man.
liked his I did like Nuke's point he raised at the end there though about strategy. I mean, guys will go through like to the ends of the earth to plan how they're going to defeat the enemy and search and destroy on Call of Duty, all the paths that they're going to take, all the lanes that they're going to cover, and all the if-then statements. I mean, just treat your life the same way, man. I mean, and like by 30, if you game theory out enough different options and prepare for enough outcomes, man, things are just going to start coming together for you. It does get easier, 100%.
Just
Yeah,
have to be
just
smart
be
about
smart.
it. And
Yeah,
look
you
at
gotta
the
be
people.
strategic.
Go ahead.
There's plenty of dumbasses that have fucked up their life for you to like be like, okay, at least I know it's not that.
You're here. All right,
I
fellas.
mean, but that's the thing, right? There's plenty of people around you who fucked up, and just take them as an example of what not to do.
Exactly.
So there you go. Well, I'm gonna take some R&R myself. I'll be on my trip. I'll be back sometime in June, like latest June, probably, maybe early July. But let's wrap this one up, fellas. Dave, where can people find your stuff?
Scarred Thumb Podcast right here on YouTube every Sunday at 9 a.m. EST. Come join me. Talk about some video games.
Everyone go check it out. It's tons of fun.
Heck yeah.
I always catch Scarred Thumb. All right, Jack, what are you up to?
But what am I not up to, in all honesty? So, new Substack yesterday, Fake It Till You Make It. It's a concept we talked about before, but what does it actually mean? And do you really have to fake it? And is it really disingenuous? I go into that in the essay, and I would very much appreciate it if people go check that out. I am 7 paid subs away from being a bestseller on Substack. I leave that completely up to you. If you like my writing, I would appreciate it if you support me there. And if you decide to do that, you get 3 free audiobooks, full access to my essays, and a private chat where we do monthly Q&As. And it's the price of a coffee a month.
So there you go. All right, cool. Gov, what do you got cooking these days?
Not much. I've just been on X a lot, and I've been working on myself a lot lately, kind of behind the scenes. So, yeah, I got some stuff. I always like to say I got some stuff planned out, but I actually do now. That hopefully will start I'll probably talk about it on X more, but just find me there, and it's in the comments. You can find it right there, the link. So that's where I'm at.
Sweet. And Nuke, what do you got coming, man?
Follow me on Substack. I'll put the link in the chat. Subscribe to my Substack and actively report Jack's channel. We're almost at the point where we can get him off all platforms. But I guys, I need your help. So please,
I need your energy. Give Nuke your energy.
Yeah, we'll rebalance the world and get the Dutch off the internet. You know?
Report.
Did you guys know that 60% of the Netherlands still doesn't have the internet?
What? No, is that true?
No, it's a joke. It's a reference. I know you guys understand.
Yeah, I get
it.
Yeah, of course.
The European mind cannot comprehend.
For myself, I'll be on with Kyle Matovic on Tuesday on his channel. Check that out. I'll be on with Michael Pohl and Capitalissimo on Wednesday for Drive Time Movie Nights, and that'll be my last stream appearance until I'm back from overseas. So I'll be back sometime in late June. So everyone have a good time. Enjoy your white boy summer, and we'll talk soon.
Yeah.
Yeah.